Hey everybody, how are you doing in this intense energy? April was a doozy. It was bringing up all sorts for many people. May is a lot the same, but a little bit softer. It does have that tinge of love through it, May being the month of love, ruled by Venus and Taurus, of course. So it is to be kind to yourself. We are being asked more than ever to go quiet, to reflect, to slow down, to take a break in your pathway and stop and just reflect, but go over the points of where you are, where you have been, and what is coming up for you as you move forward. We cannot, we just cannot afford to ignore any of the signs that are showing us what needs to be healed, what needs to be addressed, what needs to be let go of, what needs to be forgiven, what needs to be accepted. It is really ultra important. There are many people at the moment going through their own chaos and their own crisis, almost like the dark night of the soul. And in a sense, it's kind of that test. It's like, where are you going to be? Where are you going to end up as the world is going into this kind of split mentality in a sense, but it's not splitting, we're all living on the same planet, but it's becoming more distinctively of who wants to stay in separation, who wants to stay in division, but who wants to move towards more love, more peace. Because I know a lot of people that hang out with me or watch me, we're on that same page, that we want more love, we want more peace, we want more joy, we want to know how to create, we want to know how to be more abundant. But this is only a small percentage going on out there. There are many people who are just resisting. They do not want the changes. They do not want to be accountable. They do not want to look at themselves. They would prefer not to take responsibility and just keep putting out the blame and the hurts and the bullying and the pain and all those kind of things. But I know you, my friend, if you're watching this, you're truly not like that. So one of the main things that we really do need to bring into our being this month, we've just gone through the 5-5 portal, the 5th of May portal, gearing now into the full moon. And this energy is carrying on for us to truly utilize. What that means is it's a portal of creation. It's a portal of what do you really want to bring through? Where do you really want to be in this forever changing world? The quickest and fastest pathway to that is self-love, self-nurturing, self-reflecting. Everything to do with self is the key to get us through this potently bombarding energy of light and dark mixing together as people are sorting out who they truly are. Now, what stops us from being more in love with ourselves? There's quite a few things that do stop us. So I'm just going to quickly go over those so that maybe you can recognize one of these at least, where it triggers you or stops you, or it's too hard, or you just give up, or you've been trying and you can't break the habit, because we have been programmed. The first and foremost thing is it's habitual to deny love. We get this from our parents, our carers, our teachers, our bosses, our communities, our societies. We have been brainwashed since birth to not love ourselves enough, to put other people forward, to people please, to, just do what your parents did, do what your grandparents did, because it's the right thing. Well, it may have been the right thing for them, but we are living in a completely different era now. We're living in this fast-paced, technology-changing, upgraded, downloaded world that we've never ever experienced before. Our biological body is changing, our spiritual perspectives are changing. So it is very important to bring in that self-love, because that's how we create a better world. There's so many of us that have been taught to look outside ourselves, help that person homeless in the street, or help put money towards those starving children overseas. Now, I am so, not about not being charitable and giving where we can. But if you are giving more out than you are receiving, then there is absolutely no point doing that free yoga class or that free meditation, or, like helping the neighbour every single week with her groceries, or whatever the case is for you. Yes, we still need to do random acts of kindness. However, if you are going through some sort of crisis in your life, or if you are ignoring these words that are coming into you, that are challenging you about your self-worth and your self-love, and you're carrying on doing all this good for others, trying to save the world, well, then it's just going to take us all longer. Do you get that? Because the only way we can change the world is starting with ourselves. Remember, I've said in the past that, that word, a lot of us have been told that we are selfish if we put ourselves first. So it's about reprogramming those habitual stories, those habits that have been encoded into us, and to know that we're being self-full, that we can come from a place where our cup is full. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a couple of things later on in this video that can help you bring in that self-love, that self-awareness of what you're thinking, what you're eating, what you're doing within your own beautiful vessel that could be holding you back from truly owning yourself, that empowering yourself in that self-love. Now, once again, self-love, you may have seen a couple of posts lately. A lot of people can poo-hoo it, play it down, think it's overrated, think it's too fluffy, think it's woo-woo. Whatever the case is, it is not. It is our ticket. It is our ticket straight through all the train stops to the actual destination. But we know there's never a destination, but that place where we will feel more happiness within ourselves and actually live in our happy place. So I've just covered that critical inner voice that keeps telling you, no, you're not good enough, which has come from parents, grandparents, ancestors, and society to program us not to move too far forward or think even for ourselves. And then we've got comparison culture. That is huge in the Western world, where we need to compare ourselves to the Joneses next door, or to the student in the desk across the way, or as a parent, if we're parenting the proper way because that's what our midwives and that's what the classes have told us, or that we actually own a house and a car and have a white picket fence, or if we've got all the latest gadgets for our kids to look like that they are not poor at school, or whatever the case is. Comparison. Who knows what it's like to walk in another person's moccasins? Who actually knows why that homeless person is homeless, and what their soul contract has been, what they have actually come to this planet to experience? We have no idea why there are millions of starving children, but we know that they chose those parents. They chose that country. They chose that experience for whatever reason. And it's for us to rise up and out of that 3D, out of that separation, out of that division, and allow people to journey on their journeys the best way that they know how, because they have not asked for it. I'm not saying that in that respect, but they have chosen through their soul contracts to experience whatever they need to experience, and we don't have to know why. We may never ever know why. It's not our business to know why somebody has 5 cars sitting in their driveway, or somebody is always, you see them on social media and they're always jetting around the world, and they look like they've got lots of money, but who knows whether they're truly happy. It's none of our business. The only business that we know is to have our own business and fill our own cup and worry about saving our own bacon, in a sense, because like even in a plane, the first person they tell you to put the oxygen mask over is yourself. Not your kids, not your neighbour, not the elderly person sitting next to you. It's you, because you can't be any good to anybody if you haven't taken care of yourself, and if you haven't brought in the self-love to yourself. So critical inner voice, comparison culture. We've got past traumas that inner child could be really, really hurting. Those inner traumas that have never ever been addressed will stop you from self-love. They will actually take you into self-loathing, that not good enough, that it's you will never ever make a difference. You will never deserve anything good in your life. You're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too small, you're too big. Whatever the case is, it's all entangled in your traumas. So it's down to us to look at those traumas squarely in the eye. And you'll be very surprised what's been playing out in your mind, that resistance that has been playing, because you don't want to go there. You really don't want to go there. It's going to dredge up the past. You thought you'd put it to bed, but there's still an aspect of you that keeps thinking about it every now and then, which means there is more for you to heal. So it's about, putting out there to your higher self, to the universe, show me how to love myself more. I am ready to face whatever needs to be healed, whatever needs to be given, so I can move through, I can accept this and move on. Perfectionism. Haven't we been told in the Western world that everything needs to be perfect? Our hair, our nails, our skin, we shouldn't be too wrinkly, we could use Botox. We need, facelifts, as the Hollywood stars show us all the time. Or our house needs to be perfect. We need to have that white picket fence. We need to have everything trimmed and prim and proper. We need to have all our ducks lined in a row. We almost need to be OCD to compare with the world at large out there. But it is so untrue. I mean, Jesus would have been the first person to speak about imperfections. We've got this concept that everything's been put up on a pedestal. Our gurus, have been put up there that they are perfect. People running groups, they're the bee's knees. But in actual fact, we are all the bee's knees. We are. Every one of us is absolutely imperfect. We are absolutely have our faults and our flaws and our bimps and our blumps, and it's learning to accept these, that just the way you are, in the vessel that you're in, that you are perfect just the way you are. Another really huge one that has come to light since I last did a YouTube video, and it was through one of my people on my mailing list that actually wrote a comment. And it helped me really sink into it, lean into it, think about it, meditate on it, just regurgitate it and just chew on it for a while. And that person was pretty much dead right. Sometimes we can be addicted to suffering. Addicted to suffering. Most of us don't know any difference. Yes, we're born this beautiful, shining, bright light as a baby, full of smiles, everyone loves us. And then from the get-go, we are conditioned. No matter how much our parents love us, their stuff does come through into, our being, so to speak, our DNA, our makeup, our conditioning, our pattern. And because we don't know any different, we can get addicted to suffering. We can get addicted to the traumas that get played out, addicted to the anger, addicted to whatever you have been grown up with in your family household. To be addicted to suffering, that means that maybe we don't know what it's like not to suffer. We keep attracting the same old because it's the same old that we only know. So it's to be very, very aware of all of these things that stop us from our true love of ourselves. So an example, I was listening to a podcast the other day. I cannot remember her name, but I'll write it down in the newsletter because it was almost like a masterclass in itself if you want to go and listen to her. And she was actually, saying, and it clicked for me, maybe it'll click for you, that whenever you deny love into your being, you you're not whole. You can never be whole. If you deny in love, like say for instance, if somebody pays you a compliment and you poo-hoo it, you brush over it, you change the subject, or you go, oh no, my hair is crap, it really needs, whatever the compliment may have been to you. Or if you are self-criticizing you in your mind, every single time that you put yourself down or you do not receive a compliment from somebody else, you are denying yourself of love. How that clicked for me is now that I can stop myself when I am looking in the mirror day after day after day, no matter how many affirmations I say. Sometimes I fall off that wagon and I see all those lines. I see, my imperfections in that mirror and I go, look at that, whatever. But I'm getting better and better and better at it. And now I really, truly understand and embodying it, that I don't need to say anything when I look in the mirror. If I can't say a kind word, don't say it or think it at all. And it's the same with other people out there, isn't it? That's how we can help people without that judgment of when somebody walks by and they're wearing whatever or they're looking whatever. It's not for us to judge. They're just who they are. You are who you are. I am who I am. Who are we to judge? So it's about catching yourself in the moment. As soon as you hear that thought come into your brain, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Change the thought or clear it or deny it. Yes, it's a part of you, all of it, but it's not self-love and it's stopping you from becoming your wholesome, true self. So another thing, so if we are always forever wanting to help others out there, there is nothing wrong with that. But here's a little exercise that can actually help you help the world. And the more of us that do this, the faster the world is going to change. So let's not worry about what's going on the news out there, or who's doing what, or you're not perfect, your house is imperfect and you've got visitors coming tomorrow. Who actually cares? Because they're coming to see you and it is actually about you. So if you have, say for instance, family members and you can see that they're lacking in joy or happiness or even peace, let's do peace for now. Imagine that you can go and help them, you can enable them, you can do whatever you want to get them through. But at the end of the day, it's up to them if they truly, truly want the happiness or the peace or the joy or the love. So what you can do though is you can bring that peace, that joy, that happiness and love into your being and then spread it out. And if they are ready to receive, they will receive it loud and clear, because that's how energy works. So just take some deep breaths for a moment and just go with me. You can close your eyes for a minute if you like. Imagine in your heart one single cell of peace. You may actually like to change that to love or joy or happiness. Breathe that, whatever it is for you, in. And as you do, this cell in your heart is expanding. It's collecting more and more cells along the way. So bring in that beautiful peace. Each time you breathe in, the cells are expanding and multiplying. So breathing in and breathing out, you feel more relaxed, you feel calm, you feel at peace. And as you keep breathing, you're breathing more and more and more of the same into your body. Into every single cell of your body. Relaxing as you go, feeling really, really good. Now breathe it out through your skin and into your aura. At the same time, you can be cleansing your aura from, it's like a magnet collecting everyone else's stuff. Breathing it further, further, further and further out. And now you can send it out to those people that you were worried about. That scenario that you can't get out of your mind. That situation that actually looks hopeless. Just send out that peace or that love or joy or happiness to that family member, to that friend who may be in a toxic relationship that you cannot change. But the more you do this, the more it is on their doorstep, and one day they'll be ready to open the door and receive. It's not for us to make them, to change them. Sometimes we cannot even be friends with them while they're in that moment of time. But we can send it out without attachment, sending that love, that peace out. And that is a very, very real way to change the world. And also to change circumstances in your own life. I'm going to give you one more tip. This lady is actually, she has said this as well, so that's why I want to credit her. This has not come from me, but it just resonated so well with me. So affirmations, you know I'm into affirmations. My whole program, my 30-day program is about, you know, affirmations and getting to know who you are and self-love and reprogramming and reinventing yourself. And by the time you get this, I may have nearly almost launched my one-on-one coaching. So if this does interest you, please reach out to me, because I've really come up with an amazing package where I know that if we stick it out together, I'm your accountability buddy. I will help you reinvent yourself. There's more information on that to come. But as an affirmation, if you were to say this 50 times a day, wherever you are, in the loo, while you're hanging the washing out, while you're driving the car to work, while you're taking the kids to school, while you're picking the kids up from school, while you're doing your shopping, and you just constantly say to yourself, I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am true love. I am love. That's simple, huh? I challenge you. Let's step higher. Let's ascend into a different frequency. Let's not get entangled and caught up in that 3D. 4D is about transformation. 5D is about love. 4D is also about not getting caught up in all the shouldas, couldas, what needs healing, you know, and she talks about that one as well. So let's rise together. Let's bring in that love together. Let's spread out that love together. Let's fill our own cups first. Let's receive the gifts of Mother Nature, and then we can send out that love to our fellow man. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the full moon meditation and my newsletter, and watch this space for one-on-one coaching and the launching of my program. Much love to you all.